Good evening, everyone. Hi, my name is Kendria Camacho, and I want to welcome you welcome you here this evening, and thank you for taking the time to join me tonight for me to share a little bit about Young Living and essential oils. If you're here, it's because, much like how I started, you have questions about health and wellness for your family, and this is a good opportunity to start. I was just where you were when I was questioning, how can I begin to create a healthier environment for my family, one that was conducive to more natural living with everything that's going on today with toxins. So, this is just my perspective tonight, and that's why I called it a Tired Mom's Guide to Healthier Living Through Essentially Oils, but most of all, creating a toxin-free home. So, again, I want to thank you for your time, and let's get started. So, essential oils. If you talk to anyone about essential oils, usually you're going to get one of the 6 reactions or 5 reactions that you have here, depending on who you're talking to. Even myself, I used to think that the essential oils was like a hippie thing, if nothing more than, some smell good, but I never imagined the medicinal or therapeutic value that it would have to support your system. I use it all the time now. So actually they call me either Quinn, the medicine woman at work, or a witch doctor when I pull out my oils when someone's having challenges on the job and they need some strengthening of their immune system. The gym guy, that's just funny. Don't really know. I never had anyone ask me to put oil in their shoe. And the doctor is hilarious because I swear that happens to me every time we've had to take Sam to the doctor and I've told them what I've been using as far as an oil regimen. They pretty much, scratch their head, or they give you like kind of this, look. And my husband is awesome. He's pretty much on board with the essential oils that we use and the supplements and everything. And he knows the benefits, but still, even sometimes when I'm, blending oils or when I'm saying, hey, we're going to use this, he still gives me that look like, what is it that you're doing? But in actuality, the superwoman is how I feel on a daily basis since having Young Living coming into our life and using essential oils. I really feel empowered. And for a long time, as far as for the health of my son and for my family, I didn't feel empowered at all. And this is my journey. So, my story is just kind of like everyone's. It's beautiful. It's complicated. It's sad. It's joyous. I mean, it's my husband and I met at work. Totally didn't believe in dating on the job, but I always really liked him. He was just a solid guy. The job that we had, I really needed to work with technicians who were reliable and sturdy for the shows and productions that we put on. And he was just always there. And again, had this no dating policy. But when he quit, he said, I don't work here anymore. And he asked me out. And that was the beginning of our love story. And I think I probably loved him the first time that I saw him, but certainly a few weeks into it, I knew that I needed to have him in my life. And I thank God daily for him. And, I robbed the cradle. I mean, I absolutely robbed the cradle. He's younger than I am, but it's been great because he's been my complete balance. But, we're like the story of so many married people. I actually thought that I would never have a problem conceiving when we figured that we wanted to have children, but I really did have a tough time in my fertility, and we had multiple miscarriages, and it was brutal. Every time I had a miscarriage, I thought of myself as a complete failure as a woman, a failure to my husband, and it was really a very dark time, so much so that when we got pregnant with Sam, we weren't even trying. And for a long time, I denied that I was pregnant. I mean, I just didn't believe it. I thought I had the flu. And so my husband was like, you're pregnant. And I'm like, no, I'm not pregnant. And this went back and forth for like 8 weeks until finally he was like, we're going to the doctor. And sure enough, we were pregnant, and then started my journey of being completely scared every day until Sam got here about his health and his well-being. But the wild thing is that my godmother, who's the one that actually introduced me to Young Living, I didn't want to hear about it. I absolutely had nothing to hear about Young Living. I kind of thought like she's being like kind of like this crunchy granola, and oils were great, if you wanted to, put them on to smell good. But I never ever imagined or gave her a chance about the power, about how it could, and strengthen our immune system, increase the well-being of our life, and give me another option to wellness. I didn't want to hear about it. I really didn't. I mean, and those words kind of like stick in my head. It's just like, she's this wonderful woman, but I was just like, no, no, thank you. So I went through my whole pregnancy, and this is my family. This is who I am, this screen. So I want to take a moment for you guys to read it, but this is Kendria in a nutshell. What I thought I would do, I kind of challenged myself to try and find some memes that would kind of describe me. And this, I think, actually, if you know me because you're watching, you're laughing because you know that is true. And if you don't know me because someone shared this video with you, if you read these, you pretty will basically be able to sum me up in a couple of words. But for the sake of our time together, I love really hard, and I've always been that way. Loyalty is probably one of my biggest and my greatest strengths, and one of my weaknesses, but I value my relationships. I'm also that crazy girlfriend that you have, that friend that if I call you friend, I've got your back like 10 ways of Sunday. I'm like hiding the body, not really. But I'm that, we all have that one friend who's local, but will always have your back. That's me. And my girlfriend actually sent that to me. I love the Lord, but I have a killer temper, so I will set it off. I love bacon. Hey, what can I say? I'm sorry, because I know that I've got some vegans watching, but I love bacon. And even in this road to wellness and health and well-being, and as amazing as it is to live a more a chemical and toxin-free life, yeah, bacon's always going to be a part of it. Working out, I fully realize I should do more, but I mean, let's just think about joggers for a second. It is true. They're always the one who find bodies. Anita, you know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying. But the one that's up on the top, I love that because I want to shout out to my arms for always being by my side. So that's me in a nutshell. That's Kendria. So, at this point, you might just want to check out because this is me through the rest of the presentation. This is totally my personality. But if you can stick through it, you will totally find out that I do a lot of research. Whatever decisions that I make, I don't take them lightly, especially when my family is on the line. And so, for the sake of this meeting, you all are my family. And so I'm just sharing with you what I share with my family and how I feel about my family. So this is Samuel. I look at these pictures and when I was putting this together, I was like, oh my God, how far you brought us. This little boy came screaming into the world at 2 pounds and 15 ounces and spent a lot of time in the NICU. There were some dark, wonderful, beautiful days. It felt like it was 1 step forward and 2 step back. And, for a while we didn't know what our journey was going to be with Samuel. I mean, honestly, every day it was a fear that we would lose him. And I was really scared to love him. But I thank God so daily for his life. And Sam didn't have it easy. I mean, as you can see, as he was getting stronger, he got introduced to a lot of drugs really early in his life. Albuterol, that breathing treatment that it was his father was giving to him. That was a part of our existence. And even still then, my godmother was trying to get me to use essential oils as a means to, supporting our life, supporting him and his immune system. And I just didn't have an ear to hear. I really didn't. And my husband, God bless him again, those days and nights, just praying that everything would be good and not realizing that there was an opportunity to have a tool to bring into our life, but just not being able to hear. And eventually this boy grew up. Look at him. I love these pictures because for me, this is my son plotting. This is really, excuse me, this is how I got to Young Living, through these pictures right here. Look at him. He's sleeping. He's being a wreck in the library, and that smile with his father, that devious plotting smile, like, I'm not going to let you guys sleep. That's Sam. That's how I got to Young Living. My son refused to make an easy transition between his toddler crib and to his toddler bed. So we all start at like 4 a.m. My husband and I were what they would call like super commuters. And so we were commuting, and this boy was getting up at like 2 every morning, and his father sleeps like the complete dead. So it wasn't his father that was getting up. It was me getting up. And at this point, I was just completely at my wit's end on what to do about trying to get this boy to sleep. And, jump forward or jump back, my godmother, again, God bless her, was like, look, I'm going to send you a kit for your birthday, right? And I was like, that's cool. And it came. I didn't even open it. It was in a FedEx box. And it sat in my living room. And then when we moved, it sat in that living room in a box. And then one day I got really tired. I mean, like, so tired. Like, I thought that I was going to have like a separation from reality because I was so sleep deprived, that I was desperate. And so one night I was just, it's so wild because it's the true story. You oftentimes have the answer right in front of you, but you kind of refuse to accept it until you are completely at the end of your rope. And then you decide, maybe I should try the rope. Well, that's what I did. And so that night I cracked open the case, and I pulled out that beautiful rose diffuser, and I just put a couple of drops of lavender in it. And my son went to sleep. I can almost hear like angels. Ah, and that did it for me. I mean, so much so that, he just, it was, here's some more memes on this. I mean, this is how I felt. This is how you feel when your kid won't go to sleep. It's like, again, my sense of humor. He's like, I can care less that you're tired. This is what's happening. But again, I popped open this diffuser and I put a couple of drops of that pure lavender, and my boy went to sleep. And it was ding ding from there. I was like, oh, it's about that life. So much so that this was like, I was not a really big Facebook person. I wasn't at all. It wasn't me. But I was so wildly, I was rested, but I was so wild about what I learned. Like, I posted this on Facebook, and August 21st, 2015. Now, meanwhile, I've been suffering since May and before because this boy would not go to sleep. And I opened the box. And I took action, just like you're going to do tonight. I took an action that gave me some power back on how, one, I can go sleep, but two, how I can start pouring into my son health and wellness and wholeness. And yeah, it was my salvation in the form of lavender, that started my journey. But, as with anything, when I got this revelation on what this could do for my son, it sent me into kind of like a rabbit hole of discovery. Like, I wanted to start knowing more. Like, I researched everything. And so I really just wanted to figure out, if this is what lavender can do, what are some of the other things I can do for Sam? But then what can I do for us? What can I do for my family? What can it do for me? And I mean, it would be like this eye-opening journey to well-being. And is one that, I always say, once you know something, you can't unknow it. And this was a journey that I had with discovering, about essential oils, about Young Living, but specifically about the oils. It was revolutionary. So it brings me to, what's hiding in your home? Actually, what caught me when I started research was that 50% of the illnesses that we encounter is because of the air quality in our home. That was like wild for me. And so then again, it started to be about the research is like, we are exposed to a myriad of toxins every day, and we can clear them out of our home, and it's the fact that, it's the healthy responses of our body that we can help with essential oils and with supplementing, that we can bring health and wellness to us. And not for 1 second do I want you guys to think that I'm against modern medicine. I'm not. I think it has its place. I think that they can be a partnership with us. But just as I'm about to talk about these products that you see on the screen here, and not necessarily, these are the products that I commonly had in my household, or medication. It's not that. It's just that I understood that, once I really started learning that there are things that we invite into our home. We invite toxins into our home because, the Bible says, which I'm a staunch believer, that my people perish for the lack of knowledge. But once you know something, you can't unknow it. And that's these products. A lot of these products here will cause you to have asthma, breathing problems, There are known carcinogens that are located in these. You have something like bleach, like Clorox. We use Clorox cleanup in our kitchen all the time, but if you ever like stop to like read the back of the bottle, it says not to ingest, but yet we clean the surface of our kitchen counters with this and we wipe it off, but then we put food on there, which we eat, which means that it goes into our body. Then we use fabric softener sheets that says don't touch or have it to your skin, but yet we put it in the dryer, but then those clothes go on the body, which means that there are trace chemicals. I mean, amazing stuff like that. We use hand sanitizers, antibacterials, and we've created like these super bugs. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, I've got people who realized, I mean, stories of they just began to look at the stuff that they had in their home. They were having kids who were having breathing problems, who were having asthma, who were getting prone to pneumonia. And they started removing stuff from their home, from learning, and all of a sudden, and using the oils and using supplementation as a way of supporting their immune systems and turning the air quality in their home better through the diffusing. And they started to see these symptoms abate, if not go away. Like, that's the amazing part of it, is that some of these products that we bring into our home, although they're convenient, don't get me wrong, and we're embraced them by the culture that we live in, if we would just take the time to just start reading like labels and then check them out, we would find out it's not good for us at all. So that's my rant on that. But again, it's something that you really need to take a look at. You know, what are we inviting into our home? And then I want you to understand that although I firmly believe that we can use pharmacy, we can use medical, like we can use prescription medication and some OTCs. I believe that they can be in partnership with each other. I believe in integrative medicine, but I believe it to the extent where it's a tool that we can partner with natural things to support our immune systems. It doesn't have to be the end all be all, which is what modern convenience and FDA would have us to believe, that there are no options for us other than what our doctors are saying. But, you know, again, there are many ways to wholeness. And sometimes we have to use modern medication, and I get that. I really do. But also there are things that we can use naturally as a preventative to support our body so that we don't even have to get it that far. And, you know, when I always say, and I don't want you guys to think that I'm, you know, completely total conspiracy theory here, but man, let's follow the money. I took this slide here that you're looking at on your probably your left, is the spending on drugs rises 12% to a record $425 billion before there was any sort of government assistance. And this is a study that was done back in 2015, and I got this on from Bloomberg actually, and it was from a health national sales perspective. It is from 2016. That's how much money we're spending on prescriptions. So how much, there is big money in pharma. There really is. And you have to believe if they spent this much money on pharmaceuticals, how much money did they have to spend in the trials to FDA? Think about it. I truly believe that if you, I mean, this one that I found in the middle is so completely true. If you believe that pharmaceutical companies are on your side, remember this: you staying sick is what keeps them in business. No one is invested in your health no more than like you are. And when you start to realize that, nobody really cares. They want your kids on albuterol. They do. They think that they're helping, but they also know that there are other measures that can be taken to help support your immune system. It's just a reality. You know, and again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just telling you the truth, but I'm also telling you because I know it for a fact. Because I am a cancer survivor. I am. My boy saved my life. Because the crazy thing is that with every miscarriage that I had a mass growing in my throat. And when you get pregnant, obviously you've got all these hormones that are going on. And so I was having this mass that was growing, and goiter's run in my family. So when I was pregnant with Sam, again, it had grown to such a size that when I tried to breastfeed him, or actually, just spend time looking down at him, I could feel this, and I would come to find that it was set on my trachea. But again, I thought, excuse me, that it was goiter. Sam was 3 months old. My maternity leave was up, and I was getting ready to go back to work. So I figured before I went back to work, I might as well go on and take care of this. It's just a goiter. They'll remove it, lickety split, not going to be a problem. Again, this is before I started on my young living journey. My godmother, right here in my ear, saying, hey, there are things that can support you. Let's start an oil regimen to help support your immune system. But again, I didn't have a space to think about it. So I remember the day that I went to go have a biopsy done, and I'm laying on that table, and they're in my neck, and they hit the area that was the mass, and they come back, and they're talking all this doctor speak, and they're like kind of speaking in code, and then they go to my right side, and they go really far, like farther than where the painkiller and the number went, so I could feel it. And as soon as they brought it up, there was a code that went out, and another doctor came in. And then another doctor came in, and they were off to the side. They didn't think that I saw them, but I did. And they had said, are you, which I guess was to rush the sample. And it was then I knew that they had found something. And yeah, they did. It was cancer. So at 3 months of my baby's life, I have found out that I had thyroid cancer, and that they had to have immediate surgery to remove it. And so I did. When my boy was 3 months old, I went into the hospital and had cancer removed, and I had my thyroid and all of my lymph nodes removed. And they wanted to start radiation immediately on me, but I was so adamant that my boy needed my breast milk, that I asked them to work with me, that they could delay me going into radiation just so that I could get my son weaned off of breast milk, get him through what he was going through, to get him to wholeness and wellness through my breast milk. And then we would talk about the treatment that I would have and the cost of the cancer that I had. And apparently I was told through this I had like the mega jackpot, the lottery. I won the lottery of cancer, that more than likely I would have the likelihood of surviving it. But that pill that you see, that pill would cost almost 10 grand. My whole surgery and the 5 days that I had to stay in isolation when I had to go to radiation because I couldn't go home cost 60 grand. There were signs everywhere about me being radioactive. This woman would come in with a Geiger counter to see how hot I was every day. That in the bottom is me. I'm about to take this pill. There was a divider of rooms in between my room. There was a little hallway where it was like a safety zone. And then there was another door that they kept shut. And so when I was taking it, everybody kind of like eased up out of the room for me to take it. And then I was left there for 5 days until the radiation wore down on me. And during that, I would have sweats, like can't even describe what kind of sweats I had. My face was swollen because it was attracted to the other the treatment that they had in this area to target the radiation. And when I was released, the bottom of that, I had to travel with that sign in case there was an accident. Someone would be able to see that I was radioactive, so that they would be able to handle me appropriately and make sure that everyone else was safe that was around me. So I get on a very basic level that, again, I believe in integrative medicine. For the foreseeable future of my future, there are pills that I'm going to have to take every day for the rest of my life until there's healing or whatever. And I'm prepared to do so. So for that, I embrace that. But I also do things on a daily basis now to make sure that I stay here for my son, that I stay here for my husband, that I stay here just because God intended me to be here. And these oils have been a way for me to do that, to increase my immune system, to keep us healthy, to keep me healthy. But again, 60 grand. No other options, they're telling me. No other options. This is what you have to do. And, and I can't sit here and I can't play the gamut now on, what if or could have, and I'm sorry I didn't. I am sorry that I didn't start on a wellness to be able to come alongside when I was having this journey. But, all I can do is move forward now. And all I can do is ring a bell to those people who are sitting out there right now. You're watching this is because you are curious. You're watching this because you feel the same way, is that you're tired of not feeling empowered about how to keep your family healthy. How do you keep yourself healthy? What are your options? Because a lot of people, they don't do because they don't know. You don't know what you have hiding in your house. But I'm here to ring that bell. I mean, love you, but now you're responsible. There are things that are killing us when we can very easily stop it. There are things out here in the form of these essential oils that can come alongside and can gird you up and can give you options on health and wellness. And I'm here because modern medicine doesn't want you to know about it. They really don't. But I'm here to say that they can work hand in hand. I'm not saying cut it out. I'm just saying, just like medication is a tool, over-the-counter drugs are a tool, so are these essential oils. So is supplementing. I guess after all that, I should tell you, I'm not a doctor. I just have a tremendous amount of common sense. And please read this disclaimer that, the statements that herein have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration, and this product is not intended. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not diagnosing. We're just sharing my journey. That's all we're doing. And then you make your decision. So I've talked about all these essential oils. So what is essential oil? I'm going to make it real simple. It is the lifeblood of a plant or tree. It's a volatile substance derived from plants containing natural spelling characteristics of the plant. It's extracted mainly through steam distillation, and it's potent, and it's volatile, and it's versatile. But how fast does essential oil work? 22 seconds to reach your brain. 2 minutes, essential oil can be found in your bloodstream. And in 20 minutes, it will affect every cell in your body. Now, I'm going to challenge you right here. We all know about secondhand smoke, right? We know that secondhand smoke actually will cause cancer. So no one can tell me that essential oils and diffusing essential oils can affect your healthy outcome by supporting your immune system. Like, you cannot sell that to me because it won't make sense when I know that you can get cancer just from sitting in a room over years and years of someone smoking, which means that you can't tell me that what we breathe in with bleach, our laundry detergents, the Lysol that we use, aerosol sprays, that it doesn't affect our body, because it does. So essential oils primarily can be used in 3 ways. So you can diffuse them, which there at this point is like a diffuser in every part of my home. Absolutely. And we diffuse all the time. Then you can put them on topically, just like lotion. You can put them on, like perfume. 60% of what we put on it gets absorbed into our blood system. So again, it makes a very easy compound for these essential oils to get into your system, and then you can ingest them. There are some oils. Actually, Young Living is the only oil company, and there are many out here. I mean, shoot, Walmart's got a line. You can try them in Trader Joe. You can find them in Target or Target, as we call it. I mean, everybody, but they're not all the same. And don't be duped into believing that essential oils are all the same, because it's not. Young Living is the only essential oil line that actually has a full line of oils that you can ingest and that are safe, that are 100% pure. So why do I talk about purity? Young Living, the seal is from seed to seal. Like, that's our mantra, right? It's the quality of the oil. And with Young Living, the oils that I will only ever have from my family, Young Living is the only company that can talk about that they control the process from start to finish. From the seed in the soil, cultivate it, they distill it. And I've actually, when I decided I was going in on this, I actually flew out to Utah because I wanted to see what it was that I was going to put my family through, what I was going to invest in my family, that this had to be worthy and pure of my family, especially for my son. I love my husband, But we've been on this planet for a long time, and Sam didn't choose to be here. So I needed to make sure that if I was going to go all in on this and use this as a way to strengthen our immune systems, that this was going to have to work. They were going to have to like straight be legit, and it was going to have to be pure. And then to watch them test these oils and then send them out to be tested. And then to be able to actually see them seal these bottles meant a lot to me, because they controlled it in every aspect of its production. And no one else can say that except for Young Living. And these products are the only thing that I would ever have for my family, because I know that every time I apply oil on my son Sam, every time I take oil internally or diffuse it, I know I'm getting the best quality of that plant, of that oil. So when it's a bottle of lavender, it's pressed lavender. If it's lemon, it's straight up lemon. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have it any other way. So, here it is. This is my salvation in the box. This is our premium starter kit. And this is the one that I started out with. This gave me 11 oils. That lavender being down on the bottom was the first one that I journeyed with. And this is what you'll sign up for. This is what you will receive. And this will be the door, the key to opening the door to your wellness. This is quite by accident how we all started here. There are oils that support your emotions. Believe that. That's how my godmother got started. Her daughter, my god sister, had a friend who started talking to her about oils because she was having a tough time postpartum after her pregnancies. And she was on medication for having challenges with her emotions. And she got tired because it makes you into a zombie. So she said, hey, why don't you try this? And she tried it. And it worked. It worked to support her emotions. And she was able to get off of conventional medication. My godmother had terrible fibromyalgia and was able to take and use these essential oils in different, combinations. And she was able to get relief and to strengthen her immune system from that. So many stories about that. I mean, I don't want to miss anything. I'm like looking down. It's just, I don't want to miss anything, but I just want you to realize, I've got a friend who suffered from bulimia and anorexia and had swinging majorly in her weight. Didn't know what she was going to do because she had yo-yo dieted her whole life. And now obviously, health and exercise comes into it. But again, she found a natural means through these Young Living products. She's lost 32 pounds and she's been able to keep it off all naturally without her heart getting hopped up because she's on some, stimulant for her heart. These oils, I've been learning how to make combination where, hand sanitizer, like we all live with sand sanitizer. We keep it on our bags, keep it on our desks, keep it on our homes. But, our environment, we have created the era of the superbug by these man-made antibacterials. And so we create these superbugs because they are smart. Using essential oils, there's no way that these germs can morph into something that I can fight because like a freaking snowflake, there's no way that you can, these germs can produce to fight these. And so, the FDA just outlawed trichlorosan, which is found, oddly enough, in toothpaste, which they didn't outlaw. It's found in hand sanitizers because it's a known carcinogenic now. But there are oils that you put together that will act like and be better than a hand sanitizer. And it's absorbent into your skin. So not only is it protecting you from or strengthening your immune system to help you have a healthy immune system to fight off and ward off any sort of germs or sicknesses, but it's also actually good for you in increasing your tolerance in your immune system so that you don't even, your system becomes so strong that you don't have to worry about some of the things that other people use. So it's amazing to me. So this is the premium starter kit that you gotta get. These 11 oils changed my life, which set a different standard from, like, my son will never know a day that he didn't have essential oils. I mean, the little boy asked for it. Now he's 3 years old. He gets a boo-boo. He asks for Aoi, which is a child's oil that they've created just for children that's already been pre-mixed. So I put it on him. He knows that as soon as I see a sniffle, mommy is all about diffusing, and she's all about putting oils on him so that I can increase his immune system so that he has a chance to fight it off naturally. Here are these oils. And, I don't want to take up a whole lot of time, but I do want to kind of go through each one of them really quickly. The lemon I put a couple of drops in my water every day. It helps keep flushes out your system. It helps with your kidney, helps building your immune system. Panaway is one of my husband's complete favorite because he deals with back issues. And so I take that with some carrier oil and I rub that on him along with some peppermint, and it helps his back feel better. Frankincense, I use frankincense to help me with my journey to keeping myself whole from cancer. I'm just being honest. It's Kendria's story. I'm not saying it's yours. I'm saying it's Kendria's. So FDA, back up. Bye, Felicia. Stress away. It's just what it is. When I've had a bad day, like, I keep stress away in my desk at work. I put some on. I smell my hands. Honest to goodness, and it helps to calm and focus me. Copaiba, again, it helps with muscles, and it's a mood, it's a mood enhancer to help with your emotions. The purification. We cook a lot. So, when you get like that kind of gamey smell, like that stale smell in your house after you cook, put that with some lemon, and all of a sudden it just ignites your senses and it cleans all that garbage odor in your house up. But not only that, it can help, again, topically, to help you increase your immune system. Peppermint, it's awesome. It can suppress and help you with weight loss. It helps circulatory. Diges. I'm telling you, I've had the bubble guts, and I'm sorry, I know that's probably TMI. I've had nausea, but I've put a couple of those underneath my tongue, and 20 minutes later, no lie, I felt much better. Like, I didn't have the bubble guts anymore, and I didn't have the nausea. RC has become a savior in my family because when I use compounds like RC, the purification, and the lavender, excuse me, and the thieves, when Sam starts to feel compromised in his immune system, I start immediately on that, because that's the one thing with oils. You have to start early and often. So at the first sign that you feel weakened, you have to start them, because it's much like, there are comparisons with medication, right? So if you're not feeling well, you begin to take medication. But if you stop taking them, then you don't get the immediate relief of it. So early and often with these. Thieves, one of my favorites. 99% of bacteria are killed by thieves. Straight up. Better than Clorox. And I would challenge anyone to do a laboratory test on that, because I've seen them, that it works so much better and it's so much healthier. And this we have used in our house. We always have, especially now during flu season, we keep thieves going with some other compound, whether that's like lavender, we might put in there. I might put in some frankincense so that it helps deal with whatever germs are in the air. And then lavender. Sweet lavender. That's the oil that I started with my son. It's amazing. I've gotten burns and I've put lavender on it and it kept it from welling up. I diffuse it. It's just an amazing oil. And again, I want you all to know, these are pure. There are no synthetics. There's nothing being cut with this. These are all pure oils. And it's what you need in your life for your family. And you might be offended by me saying that, and I'm sorry. But if you stuck with me this long during this presentation, is because something in you has clicked with me, that I have found a way, not the way. I have found a way to wholeness, and it's in the form of these oils. And for me, if I'm going to use these essential oils, I'm going to use the Young Living ones because I personally know, like, again, went there where they produce some of these oils and been able to see how they make them, know that they work and that they're quality, and that I can make this investment and give this to my son. And here's this Ningxia Red. Love Ningxia Red. House is never without it. We all drink it. My son, my husband kind of line up every morning. We drink it. It is like a health drink on steroids. Like, it would blow up any other person's juice to smithereens. If you can see really clearly, and I'm hoping that you can, and I'm sorry if it's too small, like, one serving of this, one serving is 230 grams of blueberries, 140 grams of cherries, 1 cup of aronia berries, which I guess is the highest level of antioxidants of any berries, grapefruit extract, pomegranates, 2 plums, orange, lemon, tangerine, yazoo, which is found in Asia. But look at what it does for you. 19% of amino acids, 22 trace minerals. I mean, this gives you, I want to read this. Excuse me. Let me just look through my notes real quick because I don't want to overstate this about the ORAC. All right. So a usual ORAC, which again, I just know that I don't know about that, but I know this stuff is good. Ningxia Red has a $36,000 rating, ORAC value rating. So if you only have one supplement to take, I would say this. And again, it would blow up everything that's out there right now. And I just want to step back again to one of the oils, purification. Okay, so I have this thing about smells, obviously, as you can tell. But I would send my husband in with a bottle of Lysol. I'd be like, look, before you do your business, I need you to lay down some ground cover. And I realized what I was doing. I was asking my husband to actually lace a bathroom full of carcinogens for the sake of me not being able to smell anything. But these oils, I realized he walks in, he already has some oils, in the bathroom. He drops a couple of purification in there before he goes. And I'm a happy camper. I digress. I want to get back to the Ningxia. The Ningxia is awesome because, again, it's something that is going to increase your immune system. And when we are feeling compromised in our immune system, this not only helps us bridge that to wellness and helps as a support, but this is just a daily supplement of antioxidants that you need in your body. It's amazing. It really is. And Thieves. So this kit, because it comes with Thieves, there are many DIY formulas that you can make with your kit. We're heavy oil users at this point. So I really don't make a lot of combinations for myself anymore. I primarily now, I'm all in on the Thieves cleaning. Like, we've replaced, I would probably say, like 99% of the things in our home are replaced by something that's naturally based. And it's all Thieves derived. That's from our laundry detergent to, our cleaning agents, to our hand soaps, to my hand sanitizer, to my toothpaste, to mouthwash, to sprays when I'm on the go, when I'm in a hotel room. Again, I would fog myself out in a hotel room because I would spray everything. Now I walk in with a bottle of the Thieves spray and I spray it. It smells great and I know that the germs are killed. But at this point, I don't do a whole lot of DIY with my oils because for convenience, but it's a healthy convenience, I use a Thieves product. And so again, this is what you'll get. This is another option to come alongside on your oil journey that you're going to be making. And a way to make your household now chemical free is through the Thieves line. So highly recommend. I recommend the premium kit. That's a no-brainer. The Ningxia on a day-to-day for your family. You will notice the difference in the Thieves cleaning line. This is what you can start in your journey. So how do I do it? You got to become a member, people. You got to jump off and do it.
You can't unknow what you know now. You're responsible for that. And the awesome thing about it, you know, it says it has generous compensation. And so this is network marketing, which means that some of you who are tuning in might have never even heard about Young Living before I said something tonight. And that's typically the way that it happens. I was a mom who was tired, who felt pretty powerless to make good decisions about what she would do for her family to keep them well. I knew that for my son's journey with his health and his wellness, I couldn't have chemicals in his life, his whole life. I couldn't do it. And I got this man that God has given me with. And what can I do to make sure that we all stay healthy? It came in the form of these oils. He gave me knowledge to be able to research to find out that not everything for you that's good to get is good for you. And so some moms have shared this so much that they now have this as a full-time job. Some are just become oil addicts that share enough to cover the price of their oils or to keep a supply of Ningxia Red in their refrigerators. But none of that really, and before you get this in your mind, guess what? We're all network marketers, by the way. When's the last time you saw something on TV? Hey girl, you need to watch that. Or you go to a restaurant, it's a great restaurant. The only difference is you're not getting paid for it. But we're all network marketers. Once you become a member tonight, you get access to wholesale pricing, which means that you'll get a 24% discount on what the retail rate is, which is tremendous. There are essential rewards. When you sign up, there's an option for you to sign up that you're able to make points back on the purchases that you make so that you can get free stuff. And who don't love free? I do. You know, there are exclusive experiences. I mean, going on trips, if you choose to do that. If you're not, being able to go and visit their farms was amazing for me. And there's a wealth of the community. I now have found a tribe of other mothers and even some guys. There are more men in this that you would even, care to imagine. But we all get together and we ask each other in forums and we learn from each other, and there's a support, there's a community, and there's an education from it. And it's just really amazing. The essential rewards, like I said, this is the best way. Now, this is a part of me, the financial person, gets to break this down. So I decided that I was going to do this oil journey. And I decided that I was going to buy what I needed to buy in order to keep my family healthy, because I realized there was no going back once I knew. Again, when I said that once you learn something, you can't unlearn it, that was me. I'm now responsible for the information that I have, that I could no longer have the products that I used to have. You remember when I went back to the first slide with the Clorox and the bleach? My house did not feel clean unless it smelled like bleach. True story. But my house now is different. My air is clean. Our immune systems are supported. I'm empowered now to make good decisions on how to provide wellness and health for my family. And these essential oils have also taught me how to leverage my dollars, right? So I knew if I was going to dip this, then I might as well become a member of this Essential Rewards, because every now purchase that I make, I get points back for free products. So now I'm just leveraging. So when you join the Essential Rewards program, in months 1 to 3, you're going to get 10% back of every purchase that you make. Months 4 to 24, you get 20%. And then 25 months on, which I've not gotten there, but it will max out at 25%. It's easily monthly shipping. You get, as a matter of fact, you get discounted shipping, exclusive bonuses. So there are tiers, like, the more that you buy, there are like free oils that come along with it for that month. There are monthly incentives. You can cancel anytime. I know that there were some other companies out there, Melaleuca, anyway, that you were forced into buying things, like you were locked in, like time served, like you were doing life in prison that would be hard to escape from. I know, because my aunt was in it, and they made it very hard for you to cancel. You can cancel this anytime that you want, but I don't know why you would, because again, who don't like free? But you can cancel anytime. And again, free. Who doesn't like free? And so I know you're thinking, well, how do I afford this? Guess what? I term it as transfer buying. So again, all these products that you see on your left-hand side that have known carcinogens in them, stuff that's no good for your family, things that we have invited into our homes that are causing our kids to have bronchial issues, things that make us, I mean, how many times did I make mustard gas with a combination of several of these where my husband had to come in and pull me out of a bathroom or pull me out of a room because I made gas? You know what I mean? And I just started transfer buying. Guess what? Every time I bought one of these, Walmart wasn't giving me anything free back. They wouldn't give me no money back. So what I just decided to do was the things that I had already known that weren't good for my family, I looked for, in the Young Living products, something that would be able to offset that. I don't wear conventional deodorant anymore. I wear Young Living. Do you know why? Because deodorant has aluminum in it. And aluminum can cause cancer. When I was on my cancer journey, I couldn't wear the regular deodorant. And you know what? It never dawned on me. The reason why they said that I couldn't use it because I was going through treatment and I couldn't have the aluminum in my body. I found out afterwards. Nobody told me. The doctors, the nurses, no one said the reason why. They just said, don't use it. And I was like, okay, I won't use it. So now I use Young Living, which is derived from essential oils, which again, it keeps me from being funky and it's good for my system. Tide. I've swapped that for Thieves laundry cleaner. I mean, have you ever done like loads of clothes, especially towels, and you get like that filmy smell, that filmy feel on it, or that smell that seems to always be lingering? That's because the chemicals that are in these products don't properly wash, so they get absorbed in there. The first time that I did a load of towels with the Thieves, I was amazed that they didn't smell funny and that they didn't smell like, they didn't feel filmy anymore. And instead of using dryer sheets that I loved Bounce. Didn't use those. I got some Australian steel, the wool balls, and put some essential oil. So 1 week, my laundry smells like lavender. 1 week it might smell like lemon. But again, I don't have all these smells and all these chemicals being released into the atmosphere in my house and on my family, because I've realized a natural alternative. So again, I didn't add any more money to our budget because guess what? My husband was going to allow me anyway. But what I did, I got smart. I started leveraging my dollars. Again, Target's not giving me money back. Walmart's not giving me any money back. So I simply traded what I was already using for something that I know that I could use that was good for my family. And so it's not like I found money. I just learned how to leverage it better. And guess what? I get free stuff. One 64-ounce bottle of Thieves household cleaners is equivalent to 128 30-ounce bottles of whatever else you've been using. That brings it down to a cost of 88 cents a bottle that I use to clean my house, and it lasts. I wash my dishes. I keep the hand sanitizer. I brush my teeth. My kid brushes his teeth. I mean, it's bars of soap. I mean, it's just amazing. It's just a paradigm shift in your thinking. I'm not asking for any more money. I'm asking you to use your money wisely. So how are you going to get started tonight? You're going to make a choice of one of these 4 packages. You're either going to do the Elite Lifestyle, which is your premium starter kit, the Thieves Essential Rewards. Got to have that if you're really serious about starting a journey on a chemical-free home. The Ningxia Red would not have it without it being in my house, because I know the wonders it has done to supporting our immune system. The Supreme package is the premium, a bottle of Thieves cleaner just to try it out. The Ningxia Red, again, if you took no other supplements, they have a full supplement line, you need the Ningxia Red Essential Rewards in your life. Then there's a the Premier package at $275, which is the premium with the diffuser and 11 oils, and the Thieves Essential Rewards, again, to start on that journey for a chemical-free home. And then you have the premium package, which is a diffuser and 11 oils at $160. The most popular is right here in the middle, which is the Supreme package, which is at $363, which is the diffuser, the 11 oils, the Thieves cleaner, and the Ningxia Red. And by this way, you will have access to whatever that monthly premium giveaways would be at that level. So what are you waiting for? You got to have to make a decision. You're going to have to jump off, and trust me. Listen, I know what you're thinking. I hear some of you. You came here tonight because there was an episode that happened. You said, I need to learn about this. I need to find out more. It's never going to be a convenient time for you to do this. You need to do it tonight. You need to make an action. You can't unlearn what you've learned. And you need to do it for yourself. I'm telling you. For those of you who know me, you know me. And for those of you who are meeting me the first time, I have found a way to help my family. I feel empowered to help my family, to a role of wellness. I no longer feel a victim because I don't know what to do. And again, look, I'm not a Winkie. I'm not a granola. I'm not crunchy. I love bacon. Sometimes you'll find me at McDonald's. I'm keeping it real. This is a real answer. It's my answer. Make a decision tonight. Do it today. It's never going to be an opportune time. And please, don't sell yourself that you don't have the money, because you do. Because you buy what you feel that you want. And then, you make an investment on other things and you find a way. You wanted them shoes and Jimmy Choos, them Louis Vuittons, you'll find a way. This is something that actually will build up your family, yourself. And by the way, it's 100% guarantee. If you don't like these products, then send them back and you'll get 100% of your money back. That's how furious this claim is. This stuff is legit, people. So here's how you order tonight. Do it tonight. How do you find me? KendriaCamacho.com, and I'm on Instagram. Listen, I want to thank you all for your time, and I know I've gone long, but I'm here for you. I'm here for you to ask, questions along this journey after you've gotten your kit. I'm not leaving you once you get your kit tonight. I'm not. Once you're setting your order for your kit, for your Ningxia, and for your cleaning products, you don't lose me. You're a part of my tribe, and I'm in on this for you. And, someone like Isia can tell you, when she started this journey with me, she asked me questions. Hey, Kendra, what can I do for this? And now, and I would tell her, and now they have a brand new baby, a miracle baby. And she's just taking it. I mean, this little boy, since he got into the world, has been anointed in oil to keep him healthy and start him on the road to wellness. And I mean, you're my family. You're part of my tribe. So thank you for your time. I appreciate you all. And I'll see you on the other side of this recording when I see that you've made your order. Thank you so much.